For Chinese men with money or power, what privileges come with it? Sexual bribery is spreading at an unimaginable rate in China's official circles. In April 2021, a sexual scandal broke out at a prestigious hospital in China and quickly spread across the internet. One of the hospital's top leaders accepted a sexual bribe from a pharmaceutical company. In the process of having sex with the woman, the man, who is nearly 60 years old, reportedly consumed too much of a Viagra-like drug and acted so violently that the woman suffered a cardiac arrest. He used the hotel's phone to call the police emergency number 110 and the hospital emergency center 120 to take the woman to the hospital, where she was fortunately revived. Because of the phone records, this story began to circulate on the net in China and caught the media's attention. The man, surnamed Gong, spent several million RMB to have the story finally taken down from several media outlets. The public relations expense was, of course, paid for by whoever bribed him. However, this kind of sexual gossip is easy to travel and was soon spread far and wide on the net. The case was thus brought to light when the disciplinary committee of the Central South University, the parent organization to which the hospital belongs, stepped in to investigate. In the end, the man did not suffer any real punishment. He was merely removed from his leadership post and given a serious warning within the Communist Party for alleged corruption and bribery. This has led the public to suspect the man must have had some strong background. In various industries in China, women have become a gift that can be used to fawn over superiors to profit from economic projects or get promoted. Especially in the Communist Party's official circles, lower officials bribe higher officials, and higher officials bribe even higher officials. The Chinese government has been doing this for decades, and now it's getting worse. For example, another scandal recently broke out featuring a flight attendant. A Chinese social media blog first revealed some screenshots of indecent WeChat messages showing a flight attendant named Ni from China Eastern Airlines who attempted to bribe a senior executive named Cho with sex, following the arrangement from another senior leader named Tian. The story went viral in China. The source revealed on Weibo, the Chinese social media equivalent of Twitter, that the flight attendant involved is a model worker for China Eastern Airlines and a member of the Communist Party. The source confirmed to a Radio Free Asia reporter that she is a party secretary in the No. 6 cabin division of China Eastern Airlines. The source suggested that the senior executive, surnamed Tian, might be Tian Hong, the party secretary and deputy general manager of Eastern Airlines' Jiangsu branch. After the incident became public, China Eastern did not make any announcement about its treatment of the matter, but instead took public relations measures to try to remove the information from major websites and social media. In ancient China, military experts summarized 36 tactics, among which the 31st tactic was called the honeypot trap. The Chinese government has been very sophisticated in using it to bribe foreign diplomats. You may have heard of the Chinese spy, Fang Fang, also known as Christine Fang. Between 2011 and 2015, Fang reportedly met many of the most prominent political figures in the San Francisco Bay Area. She often posed for photos with them, including Ro Khanna, Eric Swalwell, California Assembly member Judy Chu, and then Assembly member Mike Honda. U.S. intelligence officials believe she also supervised other Communist Party agents who placed underlings as interns in politicians' local and congressional offices. The FBI conducted electronic surveillance and found that she had sexual relationships with those officials on at least 2 occasions, including a Midwestern city mayor. U.S. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said, "This is how in-depth the Chinese are at spying on America, of wanting to know, of stealing our secrets. and the Intel Committee is different than any other committee. This is where America's secrets are kept. This is where the individuals are able to know things that other members are not. The CCP's efforts to infiltrate U.S. politics sometimes takes years or even decades to cultivate before receiving the fruits of its efforts. They can be described as putting a long line to catch a big fish because the CCP knows that today's mayors and city council members may become tomorrow's governors and congressmen. For diplomats visiting China, it may be really hard to resist the temptation of massive bribes and beautiful women. In April 2020, Chinese democracy leader Wei Jingsheng told the Danish parliament that sexual bribery is one of the CCP's traditional tactics. Their way of applying it to bribe foreign dignitaries and diplomats has even surpassed that of the average triad. In 2010, Faden, Canada's then intelligence chief, publicly disclosed that the CCP had infiltrated Canadian politics. He said that during Canadian officials' visits to China, local Chinese officials would offer various enticements in the form of money and beautiful women. This includes the use of the same tactics on the families of their associates. Another tactic that foreign diplomats may not anticipate before coming to China is that their behavior with beautiful female spies is secretly videotaped by the CCP, meaning that they are entirely in the hands of the CCP, and Canadian diplomats may have no choice but to cooperate fully with the Chinese government. In 1994, the movie M. Butterfly was released. This film, based on a true story, tells the story of a male Chinese Peking opera actor who disguised himself as a woman who fell in love with a French diplomat. The real-life prototype of the Peking opera actor is Chinese Peking opera actor Shi Peipu, who married a French embassy employee, Bernard Bourascott, in Beijing in the guise of a woman. In May 1986, a French court convicted the couple for espionage and sentenced them to 6 years in prison for providing more than 500 pieces of information to foreign governments. During the 18 years that Bourascott and Xi lived together, the Chinese government also found a child from Xinjiang to serve as Xi's child. The Xinjiang boy had a square face and light blue pupils, similar to Bourascott's. If the CCP has even gone so far as to have Chinese men pretend to be beautiful women to obtain information, what challenge could there be for the communist government when it comes to the use of honeypot traps?